This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, I want to welcome everyone back, especially our returning viewers, and thank all the new ones for checking in. Today we have Coach Tim Kramer from Point Park University to talk a little about a school and the team and what makes both of these experiences unique for the interested athletes. It's sort of a speed dating approach to college recruiting to help coaches looking for race walkers to get exposure for their programs without having to reach out to individual athletes or their high school and youth coaches. Before we get started, just our daily reminder to subscribe to the channel so you're notified of new content when it's posted, and leave comments on every video so we know what you think. Coach, it's great to meet you, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, Michael, thanks for having me. It's going to be a pleasure and looking to have some fun with you here for a little bit.
Great, looking forward to it for sure. So let's go dive right into the questions. So tell our viewers and any potential recruits about your school and what makes it a unique environment for them.
Well, to start, Point Park University, we're still relatively young as far as a track and field program goes in the history of the school. We're just going to be in our 11th season ever. We're located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which, we are an urban campus, which makes us pretty unique compared to a lot of the NAIA schools in the country. We really have the best of both worlds in the city of Pittsburgh. We're a city feel, but we're not a big city feel where you could get overwhelmed like in New York City, Chicago, those type of places. And we're a 5 to 8 minute drive from campus to our track practice facility and cross country facility, where we have a beautiful park in Shenley Park, wooded trails, a lot of different river runs, things that we can do, for our training, for our distance and race walkers to really make it a unique experience as far as our program goes, being in the city, 5 minutes later being, on the outskirts of the city, getting some good quality training in.
So you've kind of got like the best of both worlds, where you've got the proximity to all the living and the excitement of having, a mid-major city. And then also, you're 5-10 minutes away from also, being in the middle of sort of a combination of rural and suburban lifestyle, right, where you got parks and everything like that. So, you get that, and you do get all 4 seasons there.
Yes, we definitely get all 4 seasons. We've been pretty fortunate this past, winter and spring season where, Mother Nature was pretty kind to us to have a mild, warm winter here in the city of Pittsburgh, where, we were going to indoor championships in February, and we were out on the track the week before, at the outdoor track, just really getting in good work for our conference championship that we were successful in this past year. And then that just kind of proceeded into outdoor season, where we were, kept joking around saying, something's going to hit where we're going to be in 38-degree weather in the middle of April, and it never hit. So it was pretty lucky and pretty fortunate to have that weather this year.
Yeah, Western Pennsylvania can be a little rough. It's, with the proximity to Ohio and all the states in that area. When winter hits, it really hits.
Right, for sure. It really hits. But, we're really, really creative with how we do our training when winter does hit in the city of Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. With our treadmills and our indoor accesses to a couple different places that we, get to, we make it, pretty convenient for us to get our work in when it's Mother Nature's not, our friend.
Yeah. And having that flexibility is also really important, being able to transition on basically turn on a dime and go, okay, we're indoors today, guys. And
yep,
here we go. And, and being able to recognize that and have a plan is important.
Yeah, we're able to turn the basketball gym into our indoor track facility pretty quick and use the student rec center. I think we have 8 treadmills on campus, and we're getting a couple of those high fancy curved ones where we can make them go a little faster. Yep. So we've been pretty creative, and our athletic director has been great with supporting our program, giving us the tools necessary to be successful like we've been over the last, 5 years that I've been at Point Park.
Okay, good. So give us a short history of your coaching background and then how you integrate that knowledge and experience into growing students into well-rounded athletes. If you can remember all, that was a lot. That was a word salad.
All right. If I get a little confused, you just throw me another part.
I'll pull you back. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So I've been coaching, at the collegiate level for this will be my 21st season. Started in my late 20s. Not in my late 20s anymore, which probably is a good thing now because I was a little bit more gung-ho and fiery then, where I'm more laid back and I'm more dad now than big brother as far as coaching goes. I personally was a pole vaulter and a high jumper in college, so I primarily deal with the jumping events on a day-to-day basis. But I got into coaching, to be quite honest, because I didn't want to work, quote unquote, a real job back when I was in my mid 20s. I said, oh, this coaching thing could be pretty cool. I'm still a competitive guy, still want to go out there and be successful at the sport of track and field. And Coach White got me in, to the world of collegiate coaching. Did 4 years as a high school coach and found out that wasn't quite the level I wanted to be at, and got an opportunity at the Division II school at a young age, and then eventually, have moved on from there to Point Park. This will be my 6th season at Point Park now, and really enjoy everything about what we've been doing.
So it's kind of to throw that fishing line back out there. So how do you integrate all of that experience and knowledge into, growing students into, student athletes?
Well, what I tell our student athletes, when we're recruiting them, is, when I'm talking to mom and dad or the student athletes, it's, I'm going to provide an experience that I would want my own college age children to have when they go to college. I want to be there for them as best I can, and guide them and mentor them from an 18-year-old kid to a 21-year-old adult by the time they get through our program, and make the sport of track and field fun, because the reality of the sport is, after those collegiate years, you're going to move on to something else and go on to what my old coaches say, your life's work. I was fortunate enough to have life's work lasting now since I was 18, for 32 years. So life's work in track and field has been pretty special. But we try to give the experience a positive one, a fun one, and really, we are big on being accountable and being responsible as young adults in our program. That's something that I preach a lot to our men and women. Or if one of our athletes comes 5 minutes late to practice and forgot to shoot that text message, it's, hey man, if this was your job today and you're 35 years old, your boss might be a little upset at you. He or she may give you a warning. He or she may fire you today because you didn't let them know, I was in traffic, or I had a flat tire, I had this. So we try to make sure that we give the day-to-day opportunities to our athletes and make them think of it as, if this was my job, how would I proceed to this, so they're ready for the real world when they get out of college.
Yeah, give them the life lessons in the environment where it's okay to fail, rather than, like you said, you showed up late to work today. Oops, there's a box on your desk, and right, yeah. You should know what to do with that. But within the coaching environment is allowing them to make mistakes and to learn from them in a supportive environment.
Yeah, we really sit down and preach, growing as a young adult, because I wouldn't be doing my job, if I wasn't helping them grow as a young adult. And they're all going to make mistakes and say something that you kind of look at them and shake your head and go, okay, let's talk about that a little bit, or let's discuss why I am upset with you today that you showed up 5 minutes late, or the last 3 days in a row you've come 30 seconds late, or whatever the case may be, or why you didn't go to class today. So we have all those conversations with our men and women to really, drive home the point that, we want to build, strong young men and women socially, and eventually become, strong people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And have a positive influence.
When you look at it, from, stepping back from it, that's the more important thing that they learn, because like 0.1% of them are going to be pro athletes at any point.
Right.
And they're already the top 5% of the high school kids if they're competing in college. So, and we've seen all the numbers.
Yep. Yeah. We really drive that point home with our athletes. And like I said, most of our men and women, understand that it's a short amount of time that track and field is going to be a major part of their life. We have those men and women that they have that glimmer of hope that let's move on, post collegiately, and let's try to help them the best we can to compete, whether it at a, in their country's championships, at USA's, whatever the case may be. We've been fortunate to have some men and women, get to compete at that stage over the years.
Nice. So what are the important qualities that you look for in a potential recruit that you, when you're trying to identify who's going to be a good fit for Point Park?
Well, one of the things we really look at is, and it's cliche to say, but are they coachable? Are they good, young adults? We want someone that's going to come in and they could be, the number one race walker or jumper or sprinter, in the state of Pennsylvania or New York or Maine or wherever, or they could be the ranked number 999th male or female athlete in that event group. And if they're a hard worker, great attitude, and are willing to do the work to be a successful athlete on this team, we're going to recruit them. Mm-hmm. We have a really, really strong family bond between our men and women in our program. We have 75 men and women combined on our roster. So they're like brothers and sisters where they're bickering, they're joking around, they're doing everything that you expect brothers and sisters to do on a daily basis. And that's why I'm still, as bald as I am at this point in my career, where, having 75 kids instead of 4 kids of my own is a lot of fun. And we really make sure that they fit that family environment and have that, attitude of, I want to get better, whether that's become a better person, student athlete, jumper, sprinter, race walker, to I want to be the conference champ or I want to be a national champion. So we try to blend that all together in our program with our athletes. We seek out and recruit.
Yeah, and thinking back to my competitive days in college and even afterwards, is the friends that I made in college through track are still the friends that I have today. And high school kids will hear that and be like, oh no, it's just old people talking. It's the truth.
Oh, for sure.
You still will have connections to your high school friends on some level, but it's the friends that you make in college.
Yep.
Because
those are the ones
go through things that you couldn't have gone through in high school.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And if you're lucky enough to compete together, at the collegiate level in the sport of track and field, I think those bonds become even a little bit more tighter. I know there's other sports out there where they say that, our bonds are tight and we have this family environment, but I really truly think because our men and women are together at practice all the time, 20 hours a week together, plus traveling in a bus or a van or whatever the case may be, those bonds become
18-hour drives to wherever you're going.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we're going, from Pittsburgh to the Armory in New York City in the middle of February, driving in that small little bus or that van. And some of those quarters get a little tight. So they're poking, don't touch me. That's my line. Don't cross my line.
And you go either Mobile or South Dakota. I mean, you're going all over the place.
Going out to nationals in South Dakota when you have your hotel is 45 minutes away from the facility sometimes, and the wind is whipping and the snow's whipping, and they're making up games on the highway because it's a long drive to get to the meet.
Yeah, great. Okay, so what are the goals that you set for individual athletes and the team on an annual basis and over a 4-year period?
We really start off with the team goal to kind of start the season when we get together in September and have our team meeting and introduce all our new athletes to the roster. Our team goal every year is to win a conference championship, and our overall goal has always been to win all 6 conference championships in the River States Conference, the 2 crosses, the 2 indoor and the 2 outdoor. we got 5 out of 6 in the calendar year. We've gotten 4 out of 6 in an academic year, but we've never hit that magic number of 6 out of 6. So that's always our goal as a team to start the year. And then we sit down and we kind of will discuss throughout the fall individual goals. We don't necessarily sit down with the athletes. We used to do this a long time ago when I started out young, and fill out your goal sheet, and then we'll discuss it. And then as rosters started getting bigger and days started getting shorter because of all the different schedules, with the way academics are today with class schedules, it was hard to sit down and really discuss those. So we'd have those personal conversations with our athletes where it might be like, in the middle of technique day for the long jumpers. So what are you thinking this year? What's your goal to jump? Do you want to hit nationals, A, B standard? Or are you just trying to PR? You're trying to hit 7 meters. You're trying to hit 6 meters. If you're, a newer guy or a newer female, you're trying to hit 5 meters. And we have those kind of conversations, on a daily basis with our athletes, whether it's the jumps group, the distance group, the throws group, or our sprints and hurdles group. So I think that's a better way to discuss those goals with our athletes. And then once we know what that goal is with that athlete or what they're looking at, then we can kind of pinpoint that direction that we want to take them with training throughout the season. We have a lot of conversations during the season where, we'll get some input from our juniors and seniors on some training technique that we might do that, hey, coach, can we try this? I think I need to work on X, Y, or Z a little bit more this week than what the plan on paper is, because sometimes you can scratch that out, erase it with the pencil and modify so that athlete's getting the best. So we try to have a team goal first, and then those individual goals kind of spiderweb off of it, so to speak. So we're all on the same page as the season's going on.
So those individual goals are, they're sort of like the macro and the micro when you're looking at the training theory, and the micro goals have to be adjustable because you never know when, a kid's going to stub a toe or something like that, or his hamstring is a little messed up, or, so you constantly have to reevaluate.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we might have a goal for a certain athlete where my goal is to go compete at the Armory this indoor season, or get down to, UNC Charlotte, because we're going down there for a opener in March. And I've never been able to hit the qualifying standards to go to that meet in the past. That might be a goal for one of our athletes. And it might be our top javelin guy coming in next year as a junior, where I've been ranked number 1, number 2 every year. I need to win a national title now. So the goals kind of range that in that span for our athletes.
Good. All good answers. Love to hear it. So our fun mystery question.
Oh, here we go. I'm ready.
And you're in the right spot geographically for this question. So pizza, Chicago or New York style, and why?
I have to go to the New York style.
Good answer. Good answer.
My dad is a big New York Yankees fan. So even though we're Pittsburgh people, he's been a Yankee fan since he was a little kid. So we've taken trips up to Old Yankee Stadium, to New Yankee Stadium, to New York City. When I'm up there with the team at the Armory, I make sure that we stop down in Little Italy and get some good New York style pizza.
Real pizza.
Yes. Definitely like that thin, gooey cheese. It's going to fall off the dough pizza, as opposed to that thick stuff that I have to use a knife and fork with, and I get full after like one slice.
Sauce and bread. I don't know what that is.
No, it's not pizza. But, it's not pizza. I try to recreate it in my little pizza oven that I have at the house, and some days I get pretty close, and other days it's just Tim's pizza that he didn't make as close to New York style as he wanted to.
Great. All right. So I want to thank you, Coach Kramer, for joining us today. It's a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope you have a great day.
Bring the funk back.